Welcome to my very first episode of my trailer remodel series. I'm turning this trailer into my personalized art studio. This is embracing my beginnerness. Today you're getting the before tour, the raw, real, work in progress version before I start transforming this old camper into a bright, inspiring space for us to all hang out in. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my channel. It is 8:51 on this fine Tuesday, and it's Texas, so it's already hot. So I'm gonna try and make this quick. When I first decided to go full-time with my art, one of the first things I heard on the Professional Creative podcast was from Bonnie Christine, and she said something like, sometimes you got to take what feels impossible and try to find a way to make it possible. That meant a lot to me as a working professional but full-time artist wannabe. So not long after that, I quit my job, I bought this trailer, and I started trying to figure out how to make this thing work. So here's what I'm aiming for in this video. I want to take you back to the very beginning of the project, before any walls are painted, before the clutter's cleared, so you can see exactly where we're starting from. And throughout this video, I want your ideas. I'm going to give you kind of the vibe that I'm going for. I really want your Pinterest boards, your color schemes, your wild creative ideas, all of it. Drop it in the comments for me. This is going to be my art studio, yes, but it's also going to be our creative space, because we're going to be spending a whole lot of time in here together. This is where I'm going to show up a lot of the time on my channel. So if you would like to follow along and see the full before and after transformation of this little camper art studio, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, because I don't want you to miss a thing. Now, let's rewind for a second so I can share the little story of how I ended up with this trailer in the first place. So this trailer is a 32-foot forest river with 2 slide outs in the back. She's a 2005, so she's a little older, but she's got good bones. And honestly, I kind of think the older gems make the best remodels, or at least the funnest ones. She's now tucked away in this cozy little corner of the woods, and getting her was kind of a God thing. I knew I needed to find a trailer within a certain time frame if I was going to make this work, just with the situation I was in with my job and living. I had been looking at ones in the 6,500 range or less, and before going to see the last one on my list, I was praying about it and felt this strange confidence that I could go up to 7K if I needed to. And we get there, I take one look, and I know it's the one. So I offer 6,500, and he says, cool, but could you do like 7K? Done deal. So I drove her home that day. I knew this trailer was gonna need a lot of TLC and work to kind of make it what my vision was for my art studio. I wasn't really counting on how much though. So far, most of the roof has been replaced, and we've got an awning over the rest until the rain stops so we can actually finish the rest of it. Now we can finally move on to the fun part, starting inside and outside projects. Good morning, sunshine. Wow, it's in my eyes. Okay, so let's start out here, because this outside space is gonna be as much a part of the studio as the inside. So I've already kind of got a little deck thing going on. This whole area is going to be covered and screened in, kind of turning it into like a studio greenhouse space. Perfect for my messier projects with epoxy and stuff like that. And a good space for Pierre to run around in without worrying that he's gonna, wander off. If you've been watching my channel, you know I have a cute little orange tabby. His name's Pierre. He can be a little bit of a handful sometimes, so I liked him to get a little bit of energy out. And it's always good to spend some time outside. Over in that corner, I'm gonna have like a little kitty tower. So basically like Pierre's little jungle gym. And on the side of this trailer, try not to make y'all dizzy, I am planning to paint a giant mural. Something like ocean-inspired, nature vibes. I am open to suggestions. Please drop them in the comments below. Okay, so let's make our way inside. Here he comes. Here he is. Hello. So as soon as you walk in, you kind of see this little blank space. It's kind of got a lot of my art market stuff in there right now. That actually used to be where the old couch was. So when I got this trailer, that couch was already pretty torn up, but I knew it had to go when my cat was no longer coughing up hairballs. He was coughing up couch foam. So it had to go. But I am planning to build a little day bed with storage underneath. It's for storage for guests, especially the people who come to help me with my art markets, and, you know, for those rainy day sketchbook sessions. You wanna go? Are you antsy? Okay. You can kind of see the scaffolding outside from where we were working on the roof. We haven't quite picked that up yet because we got one more little section to go up top. From here, we move over to our little dining area. This has been my temporary workspace until I get a better one. Right now, this is a lot your typical RV dining space. It's got the little convertible table that converts down into a bed, which is fine, but the table is a little wobbly for what I'm trying to do, especially if you have a cat who has no chill button. What I am planning to do is totally take this out and convert it into like an L-shaped desk with some, you know, string lights and greenery up top to make it a little more warm and welcoming, you know. You ever heard that phrase, you gotta start somewhere? Yeah. We are in that phase right now, and this is all of my painting supplies in a pile. This trailer has also got lots of cabinet space, which I love, and a lot of it is in a pretty good condition. But the color right now kind of makes my videos look a little funny in terms of color correction, obviously. But I'm planning on painting them like a vibey turquoise blue to kind of go with the ocean theme in my work. Also, what do y'all think? Should I put little quilty fat quarters here? I think that would be cute. What do you think? Yeah, you see that thing right there? That's gotta go. So over here is the kitchen area. Obviously needs some work. I had started pulling out the old wallpaper, and turns out the wall didn't like the heat from the stove too much, and so when I started pulling off the wallpaper, some of the wall came with it. Yay. What I am planning to do is to insert some tile board with some fun tile colors. Also planning on putting some of those custom cutting board type things on the stove and over the sink so that I have more horizontal workspace for my artwork. And then back here in the back is the second pop out. This used to be the old bunk area. Right now, it's kind of my temporary storage and shipping space. I know the lighting is pretty bad back here. I need to change that light bulb as well as replace some lights with some LED. I've already done that in some other parts of the trailer, but I haven't made it around to all of them, unfortunately. Up top is a nice horizontal workspace. I have a lot of the artwork that I am currently working on up there in hopes that little guy does not find them. Down below, I am putting in a canvas cabinet that I am designing and building myself. It's going to have my blank canvases and my shipping materials in it. Once again, I know the lighting is bad back here. The audio is probably terrible in this little cave of an area. Like I said, I'm storing some of my artwork and originals that I am working on up here. He doesn't jump up here very much, my cat, so I'm hoping that that lasts for a good long while. He did climb one of my larger canvases to get up here the other day, so I kind of feel like my happy days are all on their way out when it comes to this in particular. I have things up here that I am working on, like my little ocean series that I'm doing on smaller canvases before I take them to the big guys. This allows you to brainstorm a little bit more before you commit to that giant blank space. Also, a pro tip, if your cat is afraid of a very large rubber ducky, put it on anything that you do not want him getting into. It works like a champ. Okay, moving on from this space, our last little room is the bathroom. It is a pretty typical camper style bathroom. It's got good lighting though. After I replaced the skylight, the guy had just like tarred over it because the glass was all busted up, so that was nice. But as you can see, the shower is pretty yellowed. It's in okay condition, so I think I'm going to reuse it until further down the line when I can actually replace it. I am planning on refinishing this shower and probably painting a mural on it for some more atmospheric vibes. And obviously, I've got still some work to do on the trim. I already replaced the skylight and the vent. But the trim work still needs some TLC. But then you have nice cabinets, and I'll probably be replacing the sinks and the faucets too, because they kind of don't have the angle that I need for what I'm doing, and the sinks are pretty yellow, so I might do like a raised farmhousey vibe in here. Oh, and I almost forgot, this the pier just went into. On the other side of these doors is my bedroom, but I'm planning on putting a very nice mural on these double doors because why not, you know? And yes, I still have my Christmas stocking up, and it is August. I don't like taking it down because my family has this Christmas tradition of like putting encouraging notes in the stocking instead of, you know, all the little trinkets and stuff. So it kind of means a lot more than just, you know, a Christmas stocking. So that's why it's still up. Now that you've kind of seen where the trailer is now, and now that I've kind of cast the vision for what I'm going for in this little studio art trailer, I would absolutely love your input. Please drop it in the comments, your Pinterest boards, your wild ideas, your color palettes. If you would like to see the process from start to finish, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out and help me grow. We all have those starting seasons, and this is mine. And one day I'm going to look back at this video and be like, wow, look how far I have come. And I am very thankful to be here. And my cat has the zoomies again.